Shri Sougata ji.
Sir, I rise to speak on the supplementary demands for grants. This is not an opportunity to criticize the minister or any other ministers. This is an opportunity to take a stock of the economic situation in the country. Sir, there is a total supplementary grant of 39.45 lakh crores. Out of this, 1.1 lakh crores go towards fertilizer subsidy. And it has been mentioned that this is due to rise in urea prices in the Ukraine-Russia crisis. Extension to Garib Kalyan Yojana will cost 44,000 crores. More capital needed for general insurance as their solvency margins have dipped. Sir, 1,80,348 crores towards food subsidy, including Garib Kalyan Yojana, which is a good scheme. For petroleum, though we are buying the cheapest petroleum in the world, still 29.9 lakh crores extra subsidy. Rupees 13,669 crores towards telecom to bring 5G to Jio, not to BSNL and MTN. 12,000 crores in railways, good thing. Only you have to be careful that the Vande Bharat trains do not collide with cattle. You must find out a technical solution to this cattle problem. Rupees 10,000 crores towards GST compensation. CapEx, capital expenditure, has been augmented by rupees 31,000 crores. Now, nobody can have any quarrel with this demand. This is necessary. The government will have to spend it. But if I may remind the finance minister that 2 years ago, we had the corona pandemic. We saw pictures of migrant labor walking to their village homes, all on foot, dying on the road, being run over by railways. Abhijit Binayak Banerjee, the young economist who is a Nobel Prize winner, suggested that these people should be given a cash subsidy of at least 10,000 crore. This cash subsidy of 10,000 would not only put money in their hands, allow them to buy a few things, that would also allow the economy, the money to circulate. The finance minister remained impervious to this plain demand of the most hapless people that I have seen. It is worse than any migration in the history of mankind. This did not happen. Sir, now we'll have to discuss about the economic situation. How is the economic situation under Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman? I would say that India as a country has withstood the headwinds. Throughout the world there has been economic recession. The Russia-Ukraine conflict has affected the world economy. And it is said, when our rupee is falling against the dollar, some people have said that even the yen is down. Chinese currency falls 15%. British pound has fallen by 17.7%. So it's a general problem. But I have not had one statement from the government to say what they are doing to improve the rupee's value vis-a-vis the dollar. Government has remained totally silent to this, and now economists are saying that it will remain flat. It's now 81.1%. I remember a few years back, it was 45 rupees to a dollar. Now it is 81 rupees. The government has not expressed the concern that it should have in this matter. The other thing is with regard to GDP growth. Any country's economy is measured by GDP growth. World Bank estimates GDP growth for FY 23 at 6.9%. Now, this will depend on whether inflation will moderate. Inflation was 6.77% in October 22. It came down a little compared to 7.41% in September 22. The rise is mainly in food. And I saw the very pleasant picture of the finance minister going like a common housewife to a market in Chennai buying vegetables. She must have realized how bad it is for the common middle class people who are hit by inflation. The Reserve Bank has repeatedly raised the repo rate, the rate at which it lends to bank, but it has failed to control the inflation. I admit that it's not a runaway inflation, but it's inflation all the same, and it is having an impact on the common man's pocket. The other thing is that agriculture has been, RBI's tolerance band was 6%. We have not been able to reach RBI's tolerance band. WPI was slightly, wholesale price index was slightly down to 8.39 in October from 10.7 in September 22. Inflation, as I mentioned, is 6.77% in October 22. Have we left to the Reserve Bank alone through their monetary policy to control inflation, or does the government have anything to say about inflation? I've been hoping, I read the papers every day, expecting the finance minister to come out with a bold statement. I don't see it. I see the Reserve Bank governor speaking more than he should, but never the finance minister speaks anything about inflation. The other thing that I should mention, that the core sector is in a bad way. Its growth slowed down to 0.1%, 20-month low in October. Urban employment is still very high. Unemployment rate rose to 8% in November, highest in 3 months. Urban employment rate rose to 8.9%. I have not seen a single statement from the government as to what they are doing vis-a-vis the employment situation. Yes, I say that some steps taken by the government were good. Capital expenditure stood 46.8% higher than the same period last year. The GST revenues have increased significantly. And a good side is that MGNREGA declined in October by 7.5%. That means less people are going for this wage employment. There is more buoyancy in the rural areas in agriculture, which is a good thing. But again, sir, ours seems a roller coaster ride. Good in something, bad in something else. Like merchandise exports fell to a 20-month low in October 22. Exports are at the worst, and Indian rupee depreciated 2.6% against US dollar. Sir, what I want to say is that our economy, yes, the global headwinds are not nice. Indian economy has shown resilience. Overall, agriculture has been excellent. For 2 years, we have had good agricultural production. Our farmers has shown a lot of strength. But we are claiming to be the third biggest economy. We are already the fifth. And $5 trillion economy by whenever 2027-26. But our GDP growth has slowed to 6.3%. Fiscal deficit at 45%, 45.6% of a full year's target already in October. Manufacturing sector, I told you, has declined. It needs policy support from the government. None has been forthcoming. Services sector alone, trade, hotel, transport services, they have kept our post-COVID situation, they have kept up the growth momentum of the economy. They need to be congratulated. So, we need to think out of the box. Main problem is this percentages mentioned do not fill the common man. Two primary problems, one inflation, the other unemployment. Job creation has slowed down after uneven recovery. The other sector which needs the finance minister's attention is the banks. I saw a statement, I don't know whether it's economically correct. He said NPAs up by 365% under PM Modi. That is Mr. Kharge's statement, I don't know. You will clarify. But in the last 5 years, 10 lakh crores were write-offs to keep banks halve their NPAs. So you have written off 10 lakh crores and thus banks have halved their NPAs. Banks have recovered only rupees 1.32 lakh crores from write-offs in 5 years ending March 22. Sir, the industry is pressing for two things. They have said decriminalize GST law, slow personal IT rates, lower personal IT rates. They say the industry, shrinking exports with high deficit call for a policy reboot. Food and fuel inflation must be controlled. Having said all this, sir, let me state quite clearly that Indian economy and the world economy is at a crossroads. Instead of boasting that we are going to be $5 trillion economy, we have to remember that globally, you see, the US tech companies, Twitter, Meta, they are all cutting down employment. This will also have an ultimately effect on Indian IT firms like TCS, Infosys, and Wipro. The manufacturing contraction shows why RBI should pause rate hikes. Having said all this, sir, I posed the main problems of the Indian economy before the finance minister. This is the last time he will make a detailed statement in the House before she presents the budget. I do hope that she has already started the pre-budget consultation. I do think that she will clear the cobwebs in our mind, our doubts regarding the position of the economy. And last point, I would urge the finance minister that be more charitable and fair towards West Bengal. She has no particular constituency to cater to. She is a Tamil, based in Andhra, stays in Delhi. so she can be fair to everybody. And now we have this huge dues from, and in upper house, from Karnataka, as Anish pointed out. So we have this huge pending dues from the central government. Some say it's 1 lakh crores, 7,300 crores in NREG alone. Huge amounts in House for All. I would request her. We don't have a full cabinet minister now in finance in West Bengal. There is a minister of state working. She can call and she can sort out some of the financial demands. And lastly, my friend Dayanidhi Maran mentioned the many projects in railways that were started. I would request the finance minister, you have given some extra money to railways, to Ashwini Vaishnav's effort for modernizing the railways, where Vande Bharat trains are being hit by cattle. We have many ready projects in West Bengal awaiting completion. The rest of the part of Calcutta Metro, including the suburbs, the Arambagh Bishnupur line, all these lines are pending completion for a long time. We have been neglected. Now, elections are still, Lok Sabha elections are a year and a half away. It is the time to bury old enmities and put the country on a pedestal to march towards a better country in the 75th year of our independence. Let us forget our old rivalries. Let the state, as my friend Dayanidhi rightly mentioned, strong states mean a strong center. On behalf of West Bengal, I plead with the finance minister to help us become strong in the state of West Bengal. Thank you, sir.